Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the very first video here at Hearth and Hen. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to finally be here with you, face to face, in this beautiful little corner we've been dreaming up together. For months, I have been talking about Hearth and Hen on the podcast, sharing sneak peeks and little behind the scenes whispers on the blog, of course. And now here we are. The fire's crackling. The chickens are probably gossiping in their hen house since they have already called it a night. And I did a little pre-recording with them earlier as the sun was setting. I had to grab them real quick since they go to bed when the sun actually says goodnight. But this space is officially coming to life. It is a work in progress, but the full moon of October it's here and it's time. Now I've kind of got a zoomed out scenario to start just so you can see the space. I am going to pull in a little closer when we read our book for tonight. But I might keep, the same cadence that we have with the podcast in that little, hello opener, here's what's going on to start us off. And then we'll have a second segment that is actually, the main bulk of the show. We will see. This is a real-time recording, and you know what? We're going to go with the flow. Hearth and Hen is my magical backyard project, a place where ancestral cooking, kitchen witchery, and everyday sacred moments meet. We'll be gathering here with every full moon for storytelling, and again with each new moon for fire pit cooking and kitchen hearth magic. Think cast iron, moonlit nights and a sprinkle of stardust. So grab a cozy drink, settle in, and come curl up next to the fire with me. Let's make a little magic together tonight, because this is the beginning of something really special, and I am so, so grateful that you are here to share it with me. Welcome to Hearth and Hen. Now, I wanted this first reading to feel like a doorway, a step into the woods together, under the October full moon, with pumpkins glowing, firelight dancing. And when I thought about what story could open up this journey, I kept coming back to Hansel and Gretel. This is one of those tales we've all heard, at least in, passing. The bread crumbs, the gingerbread cottage, the witch in the woods. But there's something about it that just kind of lingers, something both eerie and comforting. It's a story about hunger and fear, about cleverness and courage, about finding our way home again after being lost in the dark. Now, I chose Hansel and Gretel as our very first Hearth and Hen tale because it just carries so many layers. On the surface, it's the perfect October story. A little spooky, a little magical, and steeped in the kind of folklore that belongs in the season of long nights and glowing lanterns. But it's also a reminder of why we gather like this, to keep the fire lit, to share old stories that have survived the centuries, and to make them our own again. So tonight, as we listen together under this full moon, I invite you to hear Hansel and Gretel with both an old and new set of ears. Hear the fear and the wonder that families carried with them when this tale was first told in the 1800s. And also hear the resilience, the spark of hope, and the breadcrumbs of magic that still carry us back to our hearths today. I did grab this story from my own personal book, but since this edition of the Brothers Grimm was rewritten, interpreted and translated by Jack Zipes after the copyright laws came into effect, I had to go back to the Hansel and Gretel 1884 edition by Margaret Hunt for our reading tonight. So again, get cozy if you can. Come curl up by the fire with me for our October full moon story, Hansel and Gretel.